Hello and welcome, dear students. Myself, Piraj Majumdar, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering Department, Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management under JIS Group. I welcome you to my official YouTube channel, that is Mech Pro Classes. You can see over here. You can contact me for any query to my personal contact number at 94334 or if you wish you can also email me to my email id at pirajsir@gmail.com. You can also connect me through Facebook. My official Facebook page is Mech Pro Classes. Now we are continuing the manufacturing processes. So I would like to let you know that I have already uploaded some of the videos of manufacturing processes as well. Now if you want to have a daily updates as well as for future updates also, you can visit my YouTube page and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now for ready reference, I will give you a PDF of my PPT where you will find this YouTube icon along with the YouTube logo of my official YouTube channel. By clicking on the YouTube icon on the PDF, just like that, you can directly visit my YouTube channel. So this icon, you can click on this icon, this one. So here you can see this is my official YouTube channel, Mech Pro Classes. Here you can see. So here you will get all the updates regarding my uploading of different subjects in mechanical engineering. So you can just subscribe onto it and will get daily updates. Okay. Now similarly, you can also visit directly to my official Facebook page and connect with me by just clicking on this Facebook icon, just like that. So you can see this is the Mech Pro Classes official Facebook page. So you can also connect me through Facebook by liking this official page of Mech Pro Classes. Okay. So let us now continue our classes on manufacturing processes. So I previously told you that different types of welding joints are classified as butt, lap, corner, T and edge joints. Okay. So you can see over here they are already given, and I already told you about this, all the structures, and the choice of the type of joint depends on the weldment being made and the sheet thickness. As I earlier told you, the sheet thickness determines which joint should be chosen. Okay. Now more details will be dealt in respective welding processes in our later classes. Okay. Now each of the above joints, as you can see over here, can have any of the 4 different welding processes. Now I might have not told you the different welding processes. The different welding processes are somewhat, the flat, the horizontal, overhead. Okay. So there are different welding positions like flat, horizontal, vertical, overhead. So we have to determine which these positions are going to be used, and according to that we have to choose the different joint. So the choice of the joint depends on the sheet thickness as well, the positions of the welding process as well. Okay. Now the edges of the joint in case of this edge joint are always need to be straight, and this type of edge preparation is used when the thickness of the two pieces of joint is so small, so that heat of the welding penetrates the full depth of the joint. However, when the thickness increases, so first of all you can see the butt joint. Okay. So the edge of this joint are, as you can see from here, are to be straight. This type of edge preparation is used when the thickness of the two pieces are to be joined is small, so that the heat of the welding penetrates the full depth of the joint. However, when thickness increases, it becomes necessary to prepare the edge in such a way that heat would be able to penetrate the whole depth, or the entire depth. To facilitate this, the joint is widened somewhat. Okay. Now, what happens? For very thick plates, the welding needs to be done from both sides. Okay, so both sides you need to be produce the weld. Okay, to provide the necessary access into the joint, it could be made as V or U, as you can see over here. This one is V and this one is U. Okay, the V joint is easier to make. The amount of extra metal to be filled in the joint increases greatly, with an increase in thickness. So for greater thickness, you need to have this single, or for much more thickness, you need to perform this W preparation before the welding. Now, however, the machining a U joint is very difficult compared to a V joint. Okay, so the double V and double U edge preparation are used when welding is to be carried out at both sides. So you can see over here in this W, so welding is to be performed at both sides in case of W and double V. Okay, and now the virtue, by virtue of the metal being melted at the interface in a welded joint, it is necessary that the interfaces are very clean. If the interfaces are not clean, with any oil, dirt, paint or grease residue left, then this would interfere with the proper fusing of the the metal, and thus weakens the joint. Hence, it is essential that the joint surfaces are thoroughly cleaned before the welding is attempted. Okay. Now, to remove the oily substances from the surface, the organic solvents such as acetone and carbon tetrachlorides may be used, and the foreign substances may be removed by means of cleaning with a rag soaked in the solvent. The heavier oxide films may be removed by acid pickling, wire brushing, or emery paper also. Okay. Now, when organic solvents are used for cleaning, care may be taken to see that the solvent is completely evaporated from the interfaces before any welding. Okay. Now, what will happen? Highly poisonous gases such as phosgene may form from the solvents such as this trichloroethylene and carbon tetrachloride also under the intense heating of the welding. Further, the oxides present on the surface would also interfere with proper fusing. Hence, they are to be eliminated by the use of this, fluxes. Okay. Now, what is flux? Flux is a material used to prevent, dissolve, or facilitate removal of oxides and other undesirable surface substances, as defined by the American Welding Society, as I earlier told you, AWS. Okay. The flux is expected to react with the oxides present and form low density slag, which would float on top of the molten metal pool, protecting it from further oxidation. This, the type of fluxes used depends on the operation and the parent metal point, and the parent metal that being welded. Okay. Though many, mild steel being very commonly used in workshops and industrial purposes as well. So that particular mild steel may not require any flux, since iron oxide has got a very low melting point, and non-ferrous materials such as copper, aluminium requires fluxes. Okay. Another requirement of welding is a filler metal. Except for the resistance welding process, as I will discuss with you in detail the resistance welding process in our later classes. So except the resistance welding process, all the other processes require a filler material to fill up the gap between the parts to be joined. Okay. So ideally, the composition of the filler material should be same as that of the base metal. Okay, which are being joined for proper mixing of the filler material with the base metal. However, sometimes it is possible to use additional alloying elements to strengthen the joint. Now, Previously I discussed with you all these nomenclatures of these particular joints. Now let us discuss some another this important welding joints that are being commonly used in different industrial purposes as well as in workshops. Okay, so here you will see the different nomenclature that are being widely used in workshops and very important, so you must keep a note or take a note somewhere. So bead, so the symbol of the bead as given by the American Welding Society is somewhat like this, so you must remember this one, keep in mind. So bead is denoted by this symbol. Fillet joint, I previously shown you fillet joint. This one is the fillet joint, as I previously told you, this one. Now the symbol of the fillet joint is this one. Okay, so this is the fillet. Next is plug or slot. So here you will find the symbol for plug or slot. Next is the square. Now look, there is a difference between the square butt. This is the square butt, so don't get confused with the square, simply square, and this square butt. So square butt, so clearly this is the picture of the square butt. You should remember or keep in mind and take notes somewhere. So this is very important. Many competitive examinations are asking this type of questions, the symbol of a square butt. This looks like very simple, but in examinations when they are giving you 4 options, that will be very difficult for you to recollect what will be the actual symbol for square butt. So this is the square butt symbol. Okay, so you must keep in mind this is the square butt symbol. Okay, and for single, simply square, this is the symbol. Okay, now for V butt is this one. For bevel, this one you can see. For U, this is simply U. For J, it looks like J. Okay, so easy to remember. Now coming to a flare, this one is the flare V, so it looks like somewhat V. Flare bevel is this one. Bevel is very important, so you must keep in mind. So flare bevel is this one joint. Okay, next is your flash, that flat single V butt weld. So this is the most commonly used, this groups in workshops, in our manufacturing shops, in our curriculum practicals also we are performing this single V groove before performing the welding operation. So this we used to say as H preparation. We used to file this one at an angle, so you can see over here, generally it is 45-degree angle. We used to, this H preparation, this is known as H preparation in workshops. Okay, so we have to perform the welding operation in workshops as per our MACAUT curriculum. So before performing the welding, we have to clean this parent material so that the proper welding can be done, as because without the proper cleaning there might not be a good spark obtained and the resulting welding will be a defective one. So you have to keep in mind, first you have to clean properly the parent material, then you have to prepare the edge. For edge preparation, you have to hold this one in a, there are clamping devices, bench vices as well. So you have to feed that parent material in a clamp. You have to use the rough file as well as the finished file to prepare this particular edge preparation. After the edge preparation, these 2 parent materials are ready to use for welding. Okay, so you just keep in mind that flat single V butt weld, this is the symbol. So this is a symbol you have to keep in mind, this one V. Okay, single V butt weld. Next is your convex double V butt weld. So double V means when the thickness is much much bigger. So you have to keep in mind that when you are using single this much more thickened material, you have to provide double V, that is you have to prepare edge for both sides. Okay, so that the metal get deposited in a large amount and it will provide a strong weld, okay, which will hold the material. Now for this the only thing you have to remember here is the convex. For convex you can see the convex shape, this one is the convex shape. So for convex shape the symbol is this one. Okay, so for convex double V butt weld. Okay, now next is your concave fillet weld. So concave fillet weld is somewhat this one. So you can see concave fillet weld. Okay, it is also fillet, but not similar to that previous one. I already told you fillet is this one also. So if they ask you simply fillet, you can tick mark this one, but if they ask for concave, just go for this symbol, this one. So this one is a concave fillet. So look, it is a combination. Okay, so this is a single fillet and this is concave. Okay, so you keep in mind that concave fillet weld symbol is this one. Okay, next is your flat single V-bar weld with flat flush backing run. So this one is the symbol for single V-bar weld with flat backing run. Okay, this one. Now I think this is very clear to you, the different, this cross-sectional view of the weld. There are going to be many questions coming out of this particular joint profiles. So these two pages, this page you can take a screenshot, and this page also is very important for your MCQs purposes, also competitive examinations, also in your semester and university examinations as well. Now let us discuss the different welding this processes we are going to classify, and we'll be learning in our later classes. For today we just have a glimpse of this particular welding processes. So this is classified into 5 different categories, as you can see over here. First is your given over here as the gas welding, and gas welding is very popular. You might have seen in your neighborhood or in your vicinity, where there is a garage of cycles there, or cars, or mechanics. They are using this gas welding, where the flame is coming out of the torch, and they are welding different parts of the cycles, motorcycles as well. Okay, so this is a very common welding process, gas welding, and being widely used. So they have got various purposes. Okay, and very versatile process also, gas welding process. So in gas welding we are having oxyacetylene, air acetylene, oxyhydrogen as well. Next is your this resistance welding. Resistance welding is also very common and very widely used process, one of the versatile process of welding process. So resistance welding, we have got butt welding, spot welding, seam welding, projection welding. We also one another welding coming under this resistance welding, that is known as continuous welding, continuous seam welding actually. Next is your arc welding. Arc welding is most commonly used welding processes and most widely used around here, different purposes, and it is being used from the very earlier ages also. Okay, so arc welding is the most commonly used welding process. Okay, under arc welding comes the carbon arc welding, metal arc welding. Actually metal arc is the most famous one, metal arc welding. Then you are having the plasma arc, then you are having gas metal arc, that is a MIG. Then you are having gas tungsten arc welding, that is a TIG welding. Okay, so gas metal arc welding, that is a MIG. This MIG and TIG are also very widely used and very famous terms. MIG and TIG are being used in under the arc welding process. Okay, so tungsten welding, we are using non-consumable electrodes. In all the this processes we are using the consumable electrodes, but in tungsten we are using the non-consumable electrode. Okay, that is one of the famous questions being asked in different competitive examinations. Now coming to the newer welding section, we are having this this electron beam welding, laser welding. Look, this newer welding are being very sophisticated, very costly as well, but their accuracies are very up to the mark. So you are having good welding out of this electron beam or laser welding, but you have to also keep in mind that they are coming with some huge cost as well. Okay, and the skill required behind the performance of this particular electron beam or laser welding is also somewhat sophisticated. So you have to provide huge amount of money to by a operator who can operate this particular machines, electron beam and laser beam as well. Okay, but keeping aside these ones, you can have the advantage of having a great welding with accuracies, and also the defective free welding as well. Okay, now coming to the solid state welding, I can say that friction welding is there, ultrasonic welding is there, diffusion welding is there, explosive welding is also there. So under this advanced welding technology, we are going to cover as much as possible under the MACOUT curriculum syllabus. So we will continue with this these welding processes in our later classes, and we'll move one by one actually to elaborate the different processes of this particular welding processes in a detailed manner. Okay, so just let me show you a picture of welding. So this is the parent metal or base metal, whatever you can call. Okay, so this is the penetration, or you can say this is the weld metal thickness, weld thickness you can simply call. So here is the protecting sheath. This one is the protecting sheath, as you can see, and this is the electrode core wear inside this protective sheath, and this is the shielding or heavy coating over the protective shield, and the gaseous shields, you know, the shielding gases are being used in the electrode. Okay, the composition is very important as well, and here you can see the weld deposited. Here is the molten weld metal, and the catalyst is being produced, and at this particular junction where the spark is generated, the molten metal, the molten pool of metal actually formed. Okay, so after the melting of the metal in this particular junction where the spark is being produced by this particular electrode, we are having the molten pool. Okay, after you know, the electrode shifts to the another section of the particular parent metal, the molten pool gradually solidifies and gives you the welding. Now at the upper edge or the upper portion of this welding material, we are getting the slag. Slag is the, you know, the unwanted material that is coming out of the during the welding. So it is deposited at the top portion. So after welding, you have to remove this slag. Okay, so in short, we have covered the different welding positions, that is the flat, vertical, horizontal, overhead, and the different joints, that is the bar, T, corner, etc. And we have also discussed the different types of the classification of the welding process. We have also seen the basic welding structure, the diagram, and in later classes we will discuss some more, you know, welding processes. Then we will move on to different processes in detailed manner. So hope you have enjoyed today's class. Thank you for watching.